Today I'll be showing you how to make your very own rosary using this make your own rosary kit, and it has all the materials inside that you're going to need. So of course you're going to need your string, and then you're going to need the measuring tape, scissors, and the super glue and the straw, very important for the barrel knots later on, and then 5 different colored sets of beads. And then of course you need your Saint Benedict beads, centerpiece, crucifix, and these clothespins for later. Now you can use one of these bead mats, or you can just throw a towel on the table just to make sure your beads don't roll away. Now you can measure this out to a certain length, and I have that in the instructions, or you can just run the cord straight off the spool, which is what I prefer to do. Now for this next part, there's a couple different things you can do. You can either lay everything out on a bead mat like I'm about to, or you can just go ahead and string everything straight onto the string. Either way, make sure you verify your count afterwards. So here I'm verifying. I've got 5 different sections for the 5 decades, and I've got 10 beads on each decade. And there should be a total of 4 Our Father beads. So once you've verified your count, you can get to tying one end of your string onto the centerpiece. So you're going to go ahead and loop it through one of the top holes of the centerpiece. This is where you're going to need the straw. This is going to come in handy big time. So take this straw and you're going to lay it flush against the centerpiece just like this. Then you're going to take the string and you're going to wrap over the top, and then you're going to come under. And this is going to be your first wrap. You're going to go wrap it around once, then you're going to go wrap it around twice, and after that second time over, this is where we're going to start feeding it through the straw. This is why the straw comes in handy. So you're going to take it, you're going to kind of pinch those overlap parts of the string on the straw as you feed that end through. And you're going to be feeding it towards the rosary beads. And as you see, you're going to pull that straw off, and then I'm just going to kind of pull. This first knot is real easy. I can just pull and maneuver, pull on both ends of the string and tighten that knot until it gets nice and tight. And then I'm going to trim off the excess string here. Then what you want to do is you want to pick up the spool end and you want to get all that slack out. You want to push all of those beads down to your centerpiece knot. And once all that slack is out, now we're going to tie the other end. Now we need to detach it from the spool. So for this, I eyeball everything I do. For you, you're definitely going to want to measure this just to be on the safe side. So cut about 6 inches. If you measure beforehand and had a 30-inch piece, you should have about 6 inches left. Otherwise, just cut it off to where you have 6 inches left. And the same thing as before. And I'm going to zoom in real close here. We're going to feed it through the other top centerpiece hole. And this time, this is our last knot, so we got to make sure we do this one good. You're going to make sure that slack is all the way out nice and tight. You're going to hold the straw flat against that centerpiece. And again, I'm making sure I'm holding it nice and tight and I'm holding all that slack out of it. I'm going to wrap it around once, twice, and then I want to pinch. I'm going to pinch that string that I have wrapped around to that straw as I feed this through. I don't want to lose it, and I don't want it to loosen as I'm feeding it through. And I'm going to pull, and then I'm just going to slide that straw off of there. Now I'm pinching that knot. As you can see, I'm just kind of petting the knot as I pull the string through and tighten it. I want to pet that knot, and it gets it real nice, and it just kind of forms it. You kind of have to form the knot and with that petting motion as I pull the string. It takes a while to get used to. Not a big deal if your knot's not super pretty. You have lots of string in this kit, so you can always cut it and redo it until you get it right. And so now that the main loop is done, we're going to do the same thing for the pendant section on the bottom. Again, if you don't have that 10-inch section cut, you can just run it right from the spool like I am. And again, I'm using the straw, same method. We're going to barrel knot around that straw. I'm going to go 2 times around. I'm going to feed it through. Again, I'm pinching. And this first knot is, again, a lot easier. I can just pull both ends of the string. It's not a big deal because right now we can have slack. And again, I want to measure. If you get good at this, you can eyeball it. Otherwise, measure it to about 6 to 8 inches. And then you're going to cut the string from the spool. And then for this bottom pendant section, we're just going to have an Our Father bead, followed by 3 Hail Mary beads. Go 1 Hail Mary bead, 2 Hail Mary bead, 3 Hail Mary bead, and then another Our Father bead. And then I'm going to pull all that slack out of it once again before we get to the final knot. Take the crucifix and we'll feed the string through the crucifix, pull all that slack out. And again, I'm going to be holding it tight. All that slack is out of it. I'm going to take the straw, hold it up against the crucifix, and I'm going to wrap around 2 times around the straw. And then I'm going to pinch my wrapped around string, start feeding that in through the straw. Again, going up and towards the beads of the rosary. I'm going to slide the straw off, and again, I'm petting that knot as I pull that string and tighten it slowly, making sure it stays nice and formed. Then all that's left to do is cut off the little bit of excess string on each of the 4 knots. You can try to get it as close as you can. Just keep in mind that once you start cutting the string close to the knot, there is a chance that it might come undone. So be careful and be gentle with stretching the rosary when you're at this stage. And lastly, we just need to super glue the knots in place so they don't slide undone. The clothespins are going to come in handy for this part so that you can stretch the beads away from the knot just slightly so that when you dab a little bit of super glue on there, you're not getting it on the beads. Be very careful with this super glue. It will bond to skin and the beads almost immediately. So just take your time and be careful. Give it 5 to 10 minutes for it to dry, pop off the clothespins, and you're good to go.